USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
Welcome to Wrestling with Heart, a podcast looking at pro wrestlers giving back to their community. Join me, Stanley Carr, as I interview wrestling's hottest names who use their platforms as entertainers to raise awareness and do community service. Hello and welcome to another edition of Wrestling with Heart. This is the show where we talk with professional wrestlers and professional wrestling personalities about their lives in and outside of the ring, as well as doing acts of charity work, community service, volunteering, and spreading positivity. We're always about the positive vibes here on the show, and I am very pleased to welcome back to the show independent wrestling personality, the Black Dahlia. Welcome to Wrestling with Heart. Welcome back.
Hi, babies.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. I am so excited to be here.
Yes, it's so glad to have you back on. A lot has happened since we had last spoken. You got into you weren't a big fan of wrestling growing up, but you got into it through an agent, and through that period of time, you had gone through so many struggles and overcome so much adversity. I want to talk about when you first started training, under Funaki and Rikishi. Talk to me about those first few days learning how to wrestle, because I'd imagine it is hard.
Of course. Like a lot of people, especially if you come from a world like me, because a lot of people get caught up with the world of professional wrestling and forget that there's another world outside of wrestling that doesn't know anything about wrestling. So what another civilian would call the real world. So coming into the world of professional wrestling and never being a fan or watching any matches or just having a love for the business, I actually fell in love while being in the business. So falling in love with professional wrestling really opened my passion for it. But when I got involved and it was just a job at first, I was just the valet and I was just the manager. I was the kid that was tearing up and down the rings and not getting paid anything to do a valet spot 3 hours away from my house. So doing that for nearly 4 years and paying my dues like that was traumatically beautiful. And then when I got discovered by Bobby Blaze, he's a professional wrestler, and he's like, kid, listen, you are too beautiful and too talented. He knew of my athletic background where I did basketball, softball, volleyball since the age of 2, technically, because I had an elder sister on the team, so I was allowed in the sport where she was 5. So I have my athletic background. I have my theater background. Bobby was like, you're wasted talent by just not saying that managers and valets don't have a spot, because they 1,000% do. Everyone is needed in this business. But when I was discovered, I had already been in the business for 4 years, already been carnied in. And to be discovered and said, hey, you have the it factor, you need to become a professional wrestler. And then so my journey to become a professional wrestler, because I'm so much more than just a presence in wrestling. I'm so much more than just a character in wrestling. I am a professional wrestler. And also I am a model, I am an actor, and I am a advocate for CRPS awareness. So there's a lot of titles that come with me being involved, especially in the business, but being a professional wrestler means so much to me. So coming from a world that doesn't even know what a bump is, or like, I don't know if I said this on the first episode, but coming from the real world into the wrestling world, when they told me about my job as a valet, I thought they meant people parking vehicles. I never heard of the word valet except for like rich people that needed their vehicle parked. Like I was like, why is parking vehicles gonna be good on my acting resume? Like, how is this gonna get Broadway to notice me? What the heck is wrong with you people? So being educated on what a valet was, let alone now the question was, what was it like with Funaki and Rikishi and taking those first bumps? It was traumatic. It was, so I had my athletic background. I started dabbling into weight training, and then I have all my training as a valet for so long. It's like, yeah, I could totally do this, right? When you actually take your first professional bump, because again, being on the indies for 4 years, bumping and doing things, that's carny shit. It's carny stuff. Being professionally trained means so much to me, because there's a lot of people that are unprofessionally trained and didn't like pay their dues the correct way. And to dedicate my life, because I was kicked out at the age of 18. I was homeless, and my family didn't approve of wrestling. So being homeless and being scared and alone and only having my love for wrestling, because I fell in love with it, that's what drove me to continue, I think. But taking those first bumps, like I was down in San Antonio, Texas, in front of Funaki himself, and he had this NXT shirt on, and he was training all of his students like it would be the performance center. And I was like, okay, this is where you need to be. Because when you want to be like a doctor, you would want to go to Harvard or Juilliard. You would want to go, instead of these carny makeshift, I see all these makeshift schools pop up, and it's like, I know who runs these schools because they were around when I was 18, and those people should not be running schools. And then so if you want to go to a doctor, you don't want them to be from going to schools like that. You want them to be from Juilliard and stuff. So I had that in mind. Okay, I want to be the best doctor out there. I want to be the best wrestler out there. So I went to Funaki's and paid, and I sacrificed everything. My family didn't support it. So I literally had to work at Walmart just to pay for wrestling. And then once wrestling school was paid for, it's like, do you have enough money to eat? Do you have gas money? Did you pay your gym membership fee? So this was not an easy task by no means. And so you really have to be in love with the sport just to make your dream happen. And training under Funaki and preparing like the performance center was exactly where you need to be, exactly what you want to be, and you will be professional and safe. But it was really hard because we were in a garage at the time in a Spartan gym in the open heat and taking those bumps. And I have footage of it because I was like, no one's ever going to believe this. And then to be scouted by Rikishi, and then to go out there. I worked their different shows, but you're under contract out there, so you're not allowed without permission to get out there and take bookings on the indies or etc. So when I was out there, I was 100% committed to Rikishi and everything that they stood for. So to be in a match and to be put in a wheelchair and robbed of my entire career, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it definitely
Absolutely heartbreaking. Like, there are people, like, I sacrificed so much to become a professional wrestler, documented and filmed all of it because I was like, no one's ever going to believe this, just to not have my wrestling career. So I am a professional wrestler, and Rikishi got me in front of the entire class. Like, right when I was being put in that wheelchair, he said, this girl's a professional wrestler. She committed and never asked for a single penny. Like, I never asked for help. He's like, she never asked for help, never asked for a handout, and she made this happen. And I thought I just had a boo-boo and I was going to be back. I didn't know I was going to live in a wheelchair battle the most painful pain known to mankind and have doctors quite literally tell me I'm fat, lose weight, your pain is not that bad. I'm lucky to be alive right now and to have the courage to stand, walk, run, let alone to hopefully wrestle. That's the mission, and that's what we're doing right now. So
Yeah, definitely.
coming from not a wrestling background and taking those first bumps was insane. You have to have a love for the sport. You have to have a desire to continue, and I did.
Yeah, I mean, your passion definitely shows.
I
I've
hope
seen
so.
clips. Yeah, I've seen clips and videos of you at different shows, getting back into it now. Of course, we've bumped into each other at conventions.
Yeah.
Your passion is definitely grown over the last few years. And when you're with Rikishi and Funaki, and Bobby Blaze, I'm sure they're giving you like words of wisdom and guidance along your journey. Do you recall any of those pieces of advice that you've kind of carried on with you now and have applied to your life outside of wrestling?
Good question. It's such a solid question, babe. Um, so Bobby Blaze is like a father to me. So he was there when I was being mistreated as a child. So he is always giving me life lessons. He's the one that's like he taught me that if someone's going to be dramatic, not like you, a troublemaker, whatever, those are the first people you walk and shake their hands in a locker room because you are a good person and you don't let people like run your character or whatever. So one of the really good advice, Bobby is just an encyclopedia of knowledge and a really good person. So you should have Bobby Blaze on here sometime. He's a phenomenal angel. But he told me just you know, never lose yourself and always don't let the bad people corrupt you because we're easily persuaded by corruption, especially being sick. I have brain damage and I have PTSD leveled of a soldier from war. I have CRPS. This stuff is very much real and it's easily to be triggered. But Bobby told me to always show kindness and forgiveness and that you shake everyone's hand and you look them in the eyes and they'll expose themselves. So Bobby being good father figure. Funaki, him and I bonded a lot over the technical wrestling, but also Star Wars. And then, so that was Funaki, and then Rikishi. Him and I pick his brain to this day. You know, I've texted him, and he's all about the business, and he's educated me on the financial aspect of the business, and you have to believe in yourself because no one else is going to believe in you. And if you want it, you can make it happen, but you're going to have to make it happen. You.
Yeah.
So these are the little three different characters, but such magical pieces in my insane story.
Yeah, and those are really good pieces of advice that you're carrying on with you, and all three of them, have are veterans, have been around for so many years.
They've
Uh,
actually made a career out of this business and they know what they're talking about. So
they
always be a sponge. Listen to these people. They're like encyclopedias of like such knowledge. And it's so exciting being around them, let alone being able to have them as mentors, have them being a part of your life. Because I feel like everyone's life is a story. And this is my life story. And I'm
definitely
like
is.
Frodo Baggins, and I have CRPS, and it sucks. And I'm a professional wrestler, so yay! I get a wrestling made me sick, and now I'm gonna wrestle again. Da da da. You know, like let's make it fun and an adventure. This is Lord of the Rings, and those
It's
are my wise wizards. Those are my wise wizards.
it's
Ah!
a journey. I mean, this is you got to enjoy it and embrace it and push forward. I mean, that's what life is all about. And so, let's talk about CRPS and your diagnosis and explain to the viewers and listeners, if you can, what does CRPS stand for?
You're amazing for bringing it up. Thank you so much for giving me a platform to talk about my rare disease. This
You're welcome.
is this is literally my purpose, you know? I feel like we all have a destiny, and mine, I thought, was just to be an entertainer, you know, in any form, modeling, acting, wrestling, whatever I would do. I wanted to entertain people and bring happiness. But CRPS stands for Complex Regional Pain Syndrome, and there is no cure. It is a neurological condition, and there's studies even that go as scandalous as far as to say it is a psychological condition. It is, as I said, non-curable. Chemo doesn't work for this, but yet it is ranked above cancer. Uh, it's not understood by doctors and scientists where it is so rare, but yet we have studies that trace it back as far as what was it, the Civil War. So you're looking at someone who's experiencing the most painful pain a human can experience, full body, and I have not touched a single pain pill in 8 years during this full battle. So CRPS shows no mercy. It is exactly what you would think it is. I fire and agonizing pain, but I want to be on platforms and bring hope to those that need it. I don't want to be death and despair, but I also have to tell the healthy people watching about this rare disease. I survived the most painful pain known to mankind without any pain pills, without any medical treatment, no pity, no mercy. I was left to die in a wheelchair, battling this disease, and finally being discovered, finally being diagnosed. And the only treatment that was offered to me was a medically induced coma and ketamine infusions. Ketamine infusions are horse drinks, guys. That's liquid opioids. And as much as I show no shame to anyone that takes opioids, I show no shame to anyone that needs help. But to have such a severe disease and be shamed and to be abandoned by the medical community, that's why advocacy is so important to me. Yes, I am a wrestler. Yes, wrestling put me in a wheelchair. Yes, I taught myself how to walk again to wrestle, but it's so much more than that. I am an advocate for a disease, and I am writing a book about it as we speak, and it will be on the shelves this year. Wrestling with CRPS, it's really happening. But my disease, to go into more details, it's nicknamed the suicide disease because of the amount of death. We are in pain that's ranked the highest pain a human can feel. And we don't have any more treatments besides pain pills, support groups. This is not right. Cancer has more researches and treatments. So why does CRPS not? We need this on a lot of platforms. This needs to get out there. People need to wear orange and represent this disease so we can help people. So we can make sure, like, for off the record, in a more politically correct way, my doctor said, "How did you survive? You're lucky to be alive, and you're one in a million." Like, I have answers that will be answered in my book, but I still don't know how I survived this. But I know now it is for advocacy, to bring awareness and to show people that can be done. I had a love for wrestling that helps me get out of the wheelchair, but other people might not have something to help. But I want people to know that just because you have a disease, or just because you have a sickness or a disability, or being handicapped, being crippled for the rest of my life, dying young, etc., I'm not the only person out there experiencing this. There's others, and I want them to know that it is possible to still live a beautiful life in a sick body. It is possible to experience the joys of everything. So CRPS, everyone, tell your doctors, tell your friends, and next time you have a doctor's appointment, tell next time your mom has a doctor's appointment, Have her tell a doctor about CRPS. Let's bring awareness to this and let's find a cure.
What do you think, in your opinion, would be a good way to go about solving this crisis?
Awareness, people talking about it more. There's no reason why I should have gone to 15 doctors and them not diagnosed me. I feel like I get embarrassed sometimes because I feel like I talk about it too much, but then I remind myself, no, I'm not talking about it enough. I survived 8 years, 15 different doctors, but there's others that won't survive, and I need to help them. We need to help them. So, word of mouth will help, awareness will help. I have people trying to get me in front of important figures, but honestly, more research studies. I would, because I've had people have the audacity to Google my sickness and say, oh, you can get, mind you, this is almost word verbatim, but I'm going to use hypothetical. I'm going to use the word cancer because we know what cancer is. Oh, I Googled cancer and it says people can be cured from it like in a week or two. You have cancer, right? I guess it's not that bad. I guess you'll be there. There, I know someone with cancer. They're doing okay. Yeah, I know someone with cancer too that went undiagnosed and now it's spread full body. And let alone the brain damage and trauma they induce that is scientifically being studied to say it's worse than a soldier of war. Oh, wait, it's not cancer. It's above cancer. And we're talking about CRPS. I had that conversation with someone and their jaw just dropped. It's like, you can't compare people's cancers. You can't compare people's CRPS. There are studies being proven that if we can contain it, say you break your arm and we can contain it in one arm, well, some people lose their mind and find mercy doctors to amputate their arm, but then they start feeling it in their other arm, let alone other parts of their body. This is a neurological condition. And for people to Google something and think they understand it when I went to 15 different doctors and they didn't even know the absurdity of it. It's like, I am dying, but I will wrestle. That's just it.
Public health is very important, and the more we are able to know more about our bodies, the better we can get more aware of what's going on. And if there's something that's not going right, we can do our best to fix it as best and soon as possible.
Yeah.
Um,
Which these doctors, like, I don't blame them. Like, a lot of people say, once you take the doc crew with you, are you just going to go to your doctor that diagnosed you? Of course I will. But I'm going to take the doc crew to the other doctors that misdiagnosed me. And it's not to crucify them, it's not to hate on them. They didn't know. They didn't know of a rare disease. They did how people expect me to hate these people. They expect me to crucify them. And it's like they didn't know about a rare disease, but now I have an opportunity to tell these doctors about, hey, I forgive you. You didn't know, but now let's educate you so now other people will know so we can save more lives. Because what if another person has a heart attack? They walk in there, have these weird sensations in their chest. The doctor dismisses them and they go and kill themselves because it turns out after the heart attack, they developed CRPS and they couldn't handle the pain. I'm going to save people. And that's what we're doing right now. That's why I'm more than just I'm an advocate for CRPS, and we're going to save people with the awareness, because my story is not just to bring awareness for CRPS people. It's for anyone in pain, anyone with a disability, anyone that has been told that they can't. I was told I'd never walk again. I was left in that wheelchair. I was told so many different things. And look at me now. I'm going
yeah,
to wrestle.
yeah. I
We're
mean,
making it happen.
yeah, it's an exciting time. You're out there, you're working shows, and I think this is a very huge time right now in the business because women's wrestling has skyrocketed in multiple different companies. You got WWE, you've got AEW, you've got NWA, you've got TNA, you've got New Japan and Stardom and all these different promotions. I
Where
mean,
would you want to see me if my body allowed it to be healthy? Which one? Do you like Stardom? Do you like TNA?
you
Where would
know,
you?
I'd be happy. I'd be happy wherever you go. I'm always
Oh,
gonna support. I mean, I think you,
really? You're always gonna
yeah.
support me?
Yeah, absolutely. Wherever you go, I'll be there, for sure.
When I publish my book, will you get a copy of it?
I would love to.
I'll sign it
Absolutely.
for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, when you look at the rosters today, when you see some of these people that are out there now, who do you go and you're going, man, I'd love to have a match with this person. I think this person and I we'd have a really good match.
So oddly enough, like, like I didn't grow up as a mark, so watching matches and stuff wasn't my thing. But when I became a wrestler and I had to study footage and I was in love with wrestling, I studied the different product. But being injured and in a wheelchair for my mental health, which now we understand the severity of my PTSD and we understand the severity of CRPS. But at the time in the wheelchair, I couldn't even stomach watching matches. The PTSD was so bad I couldn't stomach the idea of wrestling because it had done this to me. So now that I'm getting back into the business and I'm working on my PTSD and I've been it's so scary because some people do not understand when for the past year and a half I would vomit and have severe PTSD panic attacks from my CRPS before I would go in a locker room just to be backstage. So to be backstage around wrestling was hard for me. So then to make appearances and do signings was hard for me. And then now to ballet, it mentally hard. So watching the product now and watching matches, I'm still working on because I'm gonna physically be training to wrestle again, and watching matches is a part of it. So I haven't been able to answer that question because of that, but I will say Natalia.
That'd be a good one. I could see
Natalia.
that. Yeah,
I
yes.
just got to meet her recently, though.
Really?
Yeah, I got flown out. I was down at Reality of Wrestling, and I got to talk to her and stuff. And hopefully, when you have me back on, maybe we can talk more about things that I won't talk about now. But
Yeah, yeah, yes. Save it when the book comes out. We'll do a part three. We'll get some more scoop on everything.
you're gonna have all of it, babe. I promise.
Yes, yes.
My life is a movie, and here we are towards the climax of all the cool things. And I guess Cinderella really gets to go to the ball.
Yeah. Well, let's kind of talk about this real quick before we wrap up.
Oh, you got me for as ever as you want, baby. I promise.
Okay, okay, all right. Well, I think it's so cool, going to these signings and conventions. We've bumped into each other a bunch.
Yes.
When you see these people like come up to you and you tell them your story, I mean, I'm sure you feel good about, helping the next generation or the next, group of people that are going through, similar issues or similar things.
Yes. Yes. So oddly enough, which you know this off camera, but I'll just speak on it so it makes sense right now. I have a busy schedule today. I'm in and out of different interviews. It's a media day. So I just got off an interview with someone in a wheelchair permanently, and they met me at one of these cons actually, and I just had a really emotional interview with them, and now I'm here with you. But so oddly enough that you mentioned that is so beautiful. God works in mysterious ways, but this is a beautiful question, and I love that you asked me this.
You're welcome.
So being who I was as an actor, as a performer, and then becoming Dahlia, it's easy to get lost in the gimmick and be which sex sells, but being Dahlia is just the Chainsaw Queen Dahlia. But then I really am Paige, a living, breathing human being, and now a very sick, living, breathing human being. And so when I decided to be brave enough to start dipping my toe back in the business that killed me, that made me sick. My love, hate, my internal battle with wrestling is so passionate and so real. Uh, I started making these appearances, and people only knew me for the aesthetic. Some people knew me for my resume and who I trained with, and they're like, "Oh, you're the professional wrestler, yada yada yada." And I'm like, "Yeah," but I'm a nobody. So I'm always shocked when people want to work with me. I'm always shocked when people want me because I really am a nobody. And I I mean, granted, if I wasn't sick the past 8 years, I would have been grinding and killing it, and I'd be doing these bookings, but also wrestling, you know? So it is what it is. But being sick and not able to do anything but appearances, and then now be able to do ballet spots, and then in the future, hopefully wrestling. A lot of people saw me as just Dahlia, rightfully so. I'm a nobody, whatever. But now that you mentioned it, people are starting to know me as Paige. Paige the human, Paige CRPS advocate, Paige the girl that fought and got out of a wheelchair, Paige that raw dog CRPS for so long, and then now can tell people it can be done, and for people to genuinely know who I am as a person. And like the guy that I just mentioned, I was on this podcast just now tonight. He saw me at River City Con in Florida a couple weeks ago, and that's how we were introduced. And he ended up being one of three people. And again, I'm a nobody, but three people, wheelchair bound, approached me that day. And they knew of my story, they knew of my health condition, and that's why they wanted to see me. That's why they came to me, more so than just Dahlia or just being a wrestler. They knew me because of my story and because I gave them hope, and just gave them something, whatever the gumption it was. And what are the chances that I be that spark for someone? Because that's so cool. That's genuinely so freaking cool that I get recognized as that. And I love wrestling, and I will wrestle again, and I am a wrestler, and to be noticed as a wrestler is beautiful. Whatever. But to be noticed as the girl who got out of the wheelchair, to be noticed as the girl that dared to defy the odds, I just goosebumps. It was just so cool, and I love it. I love people approaching me, and it does help because of my mental health and because people don't know what it was like being stuck in that wheelchair and staring at walls. I had no internet service, no phone service. I had no communication with outside world like all day, and I would just be staring at walls 24 hours, losing my mind and feeling the most painful pain a human can feel, with no medical marijuana, no pain pills, nothing. And then to have survived that, just a miracle. God was really with me for sure. This is definitely a story that I want to get out there and make sure everyone knows that not just my rare disease, but that God exists and that miracles are real and angels are real. And this is one of those stories, guys.
And it'll continue to get better and better from here. Your journey will go on, and we're gonna get you there. You're gonna be in that ring, and we're gonna see you make it to the big
Yes.
time.
Well, realistically, will I ever be on the big time? Probably not. And it's because of my sick body. And what I mean by that is I'm trying to just have one match. I didn't sacrifice my life and my body and my soul just to not even have a career. A wrestler that never wrestles. What is that? Nah. I'm going to have one match. And if my body's healthy enough, we might have a little bit of a tour. But other than that, if I ever get signed for a job, it probably will be as a valet or as a gimmick, as a gimmick in wrestling, a character in wrestling. I don't know if my body will ever be able to endure a full-time wrestling job on TV. So realistically, I say that now. But then again, Nathaniel, my caregiver, pointed this out. He's like, you remember that girl in the wheelchair that thought standing for 30 minutes was impossible? So maybe. Maybe I'll be able to get my body healthy enough, but I will just be so satisfied with just one match. Truly.
And you'll get there. Trust
Yes.
me. Never say never. I think you keep working on yourself and keep working on your health, and you'll be in good shape. Dahlia, this has been wonderful getting the chance to have you back on. It means a lot to me and to my listeners and viewers that are watching this on YouTube. I want to say thank you for coming back on. Where can people find more about you on social media and how they can learn more about CRPS awareness?
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you again for having me on. You're always a pleasure to see in person at these cons, and you're so fun to get to share my story with your audience. Guys, social media, I mean, I still get spam attacked by cyberbullies and they attack my posts, so I'm like shadow banned everywhere. But if you guys look up Paige Collette, the Black Dahlia, I'm on all social medias. And as for CRPS awareness, I am going to be starting a website hopefully soon along with my story. So just go to one of my social medias and I'm going to have different link bars. Hopefully we can start doing that this month. And you guys can click the links on what you're interested in, whether it's my merch or my book, but I definitely want to start a blog, and then you guys will see the documentary. But bringing awareness to CRPS is definitely going to be in that link search, with whichever form you guys are interested in. So spread awareness to CRPS, and let's bring hope to those that need it, guys. There's a lot of souls that need that little spark, and I think we can be that.
I think so too. Every little bit helps.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you again for having me on, baby. You are so loved. You're so appreciated. You are a good person,
Thank you.
and I have me back on, and we'll keep on doing updates.
Absolutely. Well, let me know when your book comes out. We'll do a part 3.
You want me to semi-announce it? It's this year.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
All right.
We'll make it happen.
I think as of now, it will be Scarefest weekend during that signing.
All right.
This October.
All right. Looking forward to it. We'll talk to you soon. We'll have you back on when it comes out.
Beautiful. Thanks for having me on, baby.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
This is Wrestling with Heart. I hope you found this podcast to be informative and entertaining. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and look out for the next edition.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang!
It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Want to live better?
We've got a lot of work to do.
Join Chris Hemsworth in National Geographic's new Disney Plus original series, Limitless. Live better now.
I'm diving headfirst into cutting-edge science to uncover 3 powerful secrets to living better right now. The growth that occurs through any challenging experience is really what we seek.
Chris Hemsworth stars in Limitless. Live better now. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
It's showtime.